So after the St. Cloud game, you said that you probably weren't going to sleep very well that night. How long does it take you to get over a game like that before you start moving on to the next?
It takes a little while. I could have watched it, pretty close to right away after the game. I couldn't, and I was up early on Sunday, and I was going to watch it, but I didn't. But you moved on, and that night, obviously, you watch it and you look at it and see where you could have done some things better. But they're all like that, even when you win games, the close games, obviously you feel better about it, but you have to evaluate them the same way and figure out whatever you can get better.
Mm-hmm. So with MSUM and Northern State this weekend, you're playing for the second time in the year. Is there anything different about the preparation when you're playing them the second time versus the first time in here?
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of teams will make a few changes in what they did early in the year, and you can see some differences in how they're playing. Not a lot, but some subtle things that you have to be aware of and you have to prepare for. But players are pretty much the same for the most part, and the systems that they're running are pretty much the same, but there are a few changes that they've tweaked a little bit.
Sure. So then, are you guys doing any of those tweaks as well on your side?
Yeah, we always do. Yeah, we always trying to figure out a better way of doing something. Try to reinvent the wheel a little bit sometimes, but it really comes down to just can you execute what you're trying to get done at a really high level consistently, and that's obviously what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. So defensively, you guys have been lately keeping teams within the 70s opposed to double overtime game against St. Cloud. But do you feel that defense is improving, and then how do you feel your offense is doing in relation to that?
It's maybe inconsistent, I guess you could say. I think though trending in the right direction, maybe a better way to word it. The guys are getting better, we're getting smarter. There's some teams that are just tough to match up with, for one reason or other. It's across the board. Some teams may have matchups that aren't in your favor that they can exploit, and it might look like your defense maybe take a step backwards, and maybe it did, but and it also goes the other way. Maybe some teams have a tough time matching up with you, and you're able to exploit some things that make it look better offensively than maybe it may have been, but basketball is a matchup, kind of a game, and if you match up well with people, it certainly can make things a lot better for you.
You mentioned you have what you consider to be a great group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about keeping them positive during this difficult losing streak, especially after a game that you lost on Saturday night the way that you did. Keeping the team focused and keeping them positive and moving forward.
Well, the first part of that is having a good group of guys that still want to continue to be successful and continue to work and grind and do the things that are necessary to maybe turn the corner a little bit. And I told them before, you never know when it can turn. It could turn, tomorrow. It could turn in a week. It could turn in a couple of weeks. It could turn at the end of the year. Maybe it's a stepping stone for a future year. You never know what it is, but those guys that have that will, that desire to be good, the process never ends, and it's just got to continue to work to try to be successful.
So the game against St. Cloud, you go into double overtime and obviously come up a couple points short. Just how long does it take you personally to get over a game like that, and then how long until you start focusing on the next game?
With the games, that's like how it's set up. You got to have short-term memory, so just think about it on the night and get over it. Look at some film, learn from it, go from there.
And you looked your offense this weekend. You led the team in scoring both games. Were you really looking for your offense because it was kind of coming to you, or how did it work out?
Coach just always wants me to be aggressive, just always looking to attack and create for others, and still look for my shot as well. So that's all I was trying to do.
And with Jake missing the last 3 games with the shoulder injury, you've kind of had a new partner out there, kind of rotating at the number 2 spot. How do you adjust to that?
Just another person that can create, so it's a good adjustment. Helps us a lot with the team. He's a good player.
And you come into this weekend, team Moorhead, that you were down big numbers late, and you just missed by about that much, making a comeback. How does that lead you into this game this week?
Just preparing, just learn from the mistakes that we had last game, just the little mistakes that cost us the game. Just learn from that.
With a game like Saturdays against St. Cloud, flip a coin, that's how it can turn up. You guys obviously come up a little bit short, but how long does it take you to get over a game like that before you start moving on to the next?
No, it's really only a day or two. I mean, well-fought game. We played definitely better that game we have the past few games, so we're pretty happy about that. But still, like you said, didn't end up with a win. Wasn't the result we wanted, but we just got to have a quick flip switch and just got to get right back into the week of practice.
So with Moorhead and Northern State this weekend, you're playing for a second time. Is there anything different in the preparation where you're playing a team for a second time versus the first time in the season?
A lot of the same stuff. I think we had the right formula last time for both the games. We just didn't execute the way we wanted to. We could have won both games, I think, pretty easily. Just a few plays here and there down the stretch, but we just got to work a little harder this time, get more of the 50-50 balls, and the game should go our way.
Yeah, so aside from a St. Cloud game where you go into double overtime, you guys have lately been holding your opponents to, in the 70s for scoring. Do you feel like you guys are making strides defensively, and how do you feel your offense kind of stacks up in that relation?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely been improving defensively. These people are getting after it a lot more during practice, helping out during the week. But our offense has been stalling out a little bit here and there, so that's why we haven't been getting the results we wanted in the games. But I think as any day, that switch to flip again, like I said, and good turn practice around and get a good win and help our season out just like that.
And talk about staying positive through this tough losing streak. The team, obviously the coaches are pushing in that direction, but as a team, talk about your mindset and staying positive.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy going on a losing streak like we have. Not getting the results we wanted, but you gotta stay positive. You gotta keep grinding out in practice. Things aren't gonna always turn out the way we want it. Nothing's gonna be easy, but you just gotta keep working hard and trust what we're doing, and it's gonna come eventually.